As a council member, you have a responsibility to watch how taxpayers and ratepayers' money is spent. How would you safeguard public funds?
As a council member, I know my main responsibility is to safeguard the public's money. So my first action would be to see how the money's being spent, which would be through the forensic audit. Now, the outcome of the audit, whether it's good or bad, I feel it's my duty as a councilman to report to the public. Now, when I report to them, I have to truly let them know where we're at and be honest. Sometimes getting to a better place, you have to know where you truly stand. And once we do that, we can effectively present them with a proposal to see if they buy into it. If not, then we go back to the drawing board. And if we need to, we have to ask for their assistance.
What experience do you have in financial management, and how will you use that experience on the council?
The financial management experience I'll draw from that I use on the council was when I was in college and I started a summer track AAU team called Middle Tennessee Legends. And when I worked with a startup of a semi-pro basketball team, the Central Texas Cyclones. The reasons I draw for those two experiences because we had to budget for home games, away games, but it's the little things we had to budget for that mattered most. For example, if a player got hurt and had to stay out of town overnight, who was going to stay with them, how were they going to get back, and even having to budget for those unforeseen things, looking 2 to 3 seasons ahead. And the reason I relate those to the council experience because those experiences taught me that to effectively hold and maintain a budget, everybody has to be on board. If you're playing the GM role and you agree with the budget and the board agrees with the budget, but the coach doesn't and the players doesn't, so on away games they break that budget, it's a no-go. So with running the city, maintaining the city's budget, we have to involve the city. We have to, most importantly, get along with each other. Whether we agree or not, we have to keep in mind our job and our loyalty and responsibility is to the public. So we have to keep their best interest at heart and not ours.
Assuming you have no additional money, what is your plan to attack Killeen's violent crime concerns?
Okay, see, that's a two-part question for me. The first part is, it's a major, major concern when you don't have money to protect your citizens. So for me, that forensic audit is so key and so important because that allows us to find funds that we can either reallocate and put in to find the money we need for the budget, or we can openly go to the citizens and say, look, we don't have it, but that's not a problem because we have groups in this community already like In the Hate Make Killeen Great, Stop the Beef, we have Stop the Violence KTX, we also have, well, those are just a few groups, but they're doing their part, and a lot of my peers are still doing more without a city budget behind them. So I would get with those leaders of those organizations and maybe do something like a midnight basketball league from 10 to 12. And the logic behind that is we'll get everybody in one place. A lot of our crime in this community is happening at nighttime. So if we could get everybody in the gym playing basketball or cheering each other on, and then have the police come by and patrol that area, because so many people are in one area, it'll allow us to take an extra 2 cops off the street and put them permanently in that situation.
What are your top 3 priorities and how will you accomplish them?
My first priority is connecting. There's great mentor groups like NYUM mentoring, other people that's volunteering doing personal mentoring groups, connecting them with our schools, because that's a cheap way and effective way to use our budget to get the solutions we need, to get the guidance. These programs not only teach and support what KISD is teaching, but they also teach these kids life skills, self-confidence, entrepreneurship. So that way we're growing productive citizens own business here. As I look at you, I see Nolan in the background. And I used to go to Nolan Middle School in 1992. And as I walked past Nolan Middle School and I would listen to a radio, there's a store that had a famous saying. It was a bookstore. It said, to whom you give your money is to whom you give your power. So for me, I'm looking at ways we could keep our money in the community. And that leads to my second thing, which is training. And training the community, the jobs, the people that need jobs, doing workshops instead of outsourcing companies to do the city needs. Now, when I say workshops, even if we don't have the people to teach it, the same companies we're outsourcing our jobs to, instead of outsourcing the jobs, we'll just go get their trainers. And we'll host workshops and train our citizens to how to do those jobs and give them those jobs. That way we're effectively putting money in the community. We can pay them a higher rate because we're not outsourcing, and it stays within the community too. And then thirdly would be, of course, the violence. And my approach to that would be the same approach I look at when I was in the entertainment field. Long as you give somebody something productive to do, it tends to work out. And the statistics I have behind that, I like to use my favorite one of the NFL. You know, when the Dallas Cowboys are playing, so many people are in that stadium, so many people are tuned into that game, that violence naturally is down because we're all watching the same thing, we're all agreeing upon the same thing. So I would bring that mindset to bringing jobs, outsourcing, and things like that.
What would you do to attract new businesses or industries that bring high-paying jobs to Killeen?
As an entrepreneur myself, and the group I hang around is entrepreneurs from makeup, network marketing, bookstore owners, and so forth. And anybody can see that Killeen is naturally attractive to the entrepreneur or business owner. So when you look at the fact that their schools are overpopulated, the city council can't get along, the city doesn't have a budget and taking out loans, as a big business, I couldn't even bring my employees into that environment. So the way I look at it is taking care of the city council and getting us on board, getting us transparent with the public, getting them behind us, getting them more aware, naturally cleaning up home, we'll draw those companies in naturally.